My name is Lily. I'm 10 years old, and for the longest time, I thought being important meant being loud, famous, or standing in the front row. But I was always the quiet one. The one who never raised her hand too high. The one who never wanted to be in the spotlight. At my school, kids like Madison and Jaden ruled everything. They were class presidents, team captains, and always the center of attention. Madison even wore a pretend sparkly crown on her birthday that she called her Queen Day crown. Everyone laughed. I smiled too. But deep down, I wondered, will I ever matter that much? Then came the day of the kindness challenge. Every year, our school ran a week-long event where each student had to complete a secret act of kindness. You couldn't tell anyone what you did. At the end of the week, teachers would choose someone to win the Golden Heart Badge, the highest honor at Pine Hill Elementary. I never thought I'd be chosen. I wasn't loud. I wasn't flashy. I was just me. But something changed that week. It started on Monday. I noticed Emma sitting alone at recess. She was new, and her English wasn't very strong. Other kids whispered about how weird she was. I walked over and sat beside her, offering my extra applesauce. She smiled. "Thank you," she said shyly. We didn't talk much, but I stayed there the whole break. On Tuesday, I saw Liam struggling to carry a stack of books from the library. He had always been quiet like me. I picked up the top few and walked beside him. We didn't say much, just smiled. That was enough. Wednesday morning, it rained. Most kids ran past the janitor without a second glance. But I noticed him, Mr. Paul, sweeping puddles with wet sleeves and tired eyes. I opened the door for him and offered him my napkin to dry his hands. He looked surprised. "Thank you, sweetheart," he said with a warm smile. Thursday, I left a sticky note in every desk in my class. "You matter. You're enough. Keep shining." I signed none of them. I didn't need to. By Friday, I felt different. No one had clapped for me. No one had posted about me. But every time I helped someone, it was like a tiny spark lit up inside me. Like I was wearing an invisible crown no one could see. But I could feel. That morning at assembly, the principal stepped onto the stage with a gold envelope. "The Golden Heart Badge," she said, "goes to someone who didn't do just one kind thing, but quietly lit up our school all week long." Whispers filled the hall. "Madison?" someone said. "Probably Jaden." Another guessed. But then, she said my name, Lily Anderson. My heart froze. Kids turned. Some blinked in confusion. Madison even raised her eyebrows. I stood up slowly. My hands trembled. But as I walked to the stage, I saw Emma clapping. Liam grinned. Mr. Paul gave me a thumbs up from the hallway. And just like that, I realized I had mattered all along. Later that day, Madison came over. "I didn't know you were doing all that," she said. "I didn't do it to be noticed," I replied. She looked at me for a second, then smiled. "That's probably why you were." I went home and looked in the mirror. I didn't see sparkles or fame or a crown, but I saw something better. A quiet girl who made a difference. My name is Zayon, and this is the story of how a boy with torn shoes, a pocket full of marbles, and a big heart went from selling peanuts on a street corner to owning a company that changed lives. I grew up in a tiny house on the edge of town. It had one room, no fridge, and a roof that leaked when it rained. My mom stitched clothes all day, and my father, well, he left when I was 5. So I helped. At first, I sold lemons from our tree. Then, peanuts in little paper cones. I'd shout, "Garam garam mungfali," near the bus stand. People would sometimes smile. Some gave extra coins. Others ignored me. But every coin mattered. One day, I saw a man in a suit buy peanuts from me. He sat on a bench, loosened his tie, and sighed like he was carrying the weight of the world. "Sir, you okay?" I asked. He blinked, surprised. "Just tired, kid. Big meetings, big problems." I offered him a second cone for free. "Why?" he asked. "Because you look like you need a break." He laughed. "You know what? You've got a businessman's heart." I didn't understand then, but that sentence stayed in my head for years. After that, I started reading. Every evening after selling, I'd sit outside the bookstall and read whatever I could see. One day, the owner, Uncle Bilal, saw me squinting at pages through the glass. "You like books, huh?" he asked. "I can't afford them," I said. He handed me an old one. "Read this. Return it tomorrow." That book? It was about famous businessmen, rags to riches stories. I read it like it held the secrets of the universe, and then an idea was born. I started making handmade bookmarks out of recycled wrappers, colorful, unique, and with tiny handwritten quotes like, "Dreams don't need money, they need belief." I'd sell them along with peanuts. Slowly, people bought both. By 12, I added notebooks, I stitched myself. My little corner had become a mini stall. I called it Zayn's Little Ideas. Kids loved it. Teachers noticed. A kind woman who owned a stationery shop offered to sell my bookmarks. One store became 2, then 5. At 15, I had enough to start Zayn Supplies Co., a small workshop with 2 employees. We made notebooks and craft kits for schools. But here's the best part. I didn't forget where I came from. I hired other kids like me, ones who had to work instead of study. I gave them jobs, books, meals, and classes. One boy, Danish, once told me, "Bye, because of you, I now want to become a teacher." That meant more than any money I ever earned. Now, I'm 22. My company ships across the country. My workshop has grown into a proper office. My mother doesn't stitch anymore. She teaches sewing at a center we built. And me? I still carry a coin in my wallet from the first day I sold peanuts. It reminds me, you don't need to be born rich to build something big. You just need to start small, stay kind, and never stop learning.